Hey, this is probably the easiest bouquet you'll ever grow. It's always exciting to me when the dahlias begin to bloom in my garden. This particular type of dahlia is one that, well, is considered a dwarf because it's under 30 inches or so high. And I love its dark, almost red foliage. And just look at these bright red to magenta flowers. You can see as the buds begin to open, they're really dark red like this. And then as they fade, they become lighter until they totally fade away like this. And this is when you want to come in and just deadhead them off like that. You see, by taking the spent blooms away, the plant is programmed to produce more and more buds. This little guy will bloom throughout the entire summer into the fall. It'll really show out in the fall when temperatures cool off, right up until the first hard freeze. If you really start to get into dahlias, you'll find that, well, they come in all kinds of flower shapes and colors. I mean, they're really kaleidoscopic when it comes to color. And what's fun about these dwarf varieties is that they're excellent for growing in containers. Now, if you want to grow dahlias, whether it's in a container or in the garden, they love full, hot sun. You want to make sure they're planted in a well-drained soil and that they get consistent moisture. They can go through some periods of dryness because they have a tuber. They grow from a big root, and actually the root is edible, but they grow from this tuber which can store moisture, but it's really better if you want to keep lots of blooms going like this. You just want to make sure that the soil stays consistently moist and they have moisture available to them all the time to continue to have this kind of bloom set. Now, talk about bloom set, come on up here, I want to show you another variety. Now, this variety of dahlia is just coming into flower. It's one called Classic Poem. And I like it because it's, well, the color's beautiful, and I love the simple, subtle flower and these purplish stems. So this is a mid-range size with a small flower, but in this grouping I have planted 7 tubers, and they have continually come back over the last couple of years. They're very satisfying to cut and put a single bloom in a vase in the windowsill. They last a long time. The beauty of dahlias is if you live in a warmer part of the country, they'll come back year after year. You see, if it gets really cold where you live, you'll have to dig them up and bring them in and replant them each spring. But in my Zone 7 garden, I leave them in the ground, I mulch them heavily in the fall after I cut them back, and they come back every year. Give dahlias a try, you'll love them. Hey, if you're enjoying these tips on how to make your garden and your life more beautiful, make sure you subscribe to eHow Home.